Hi, everyone. So we'll go ahead and get started. So this is our last session of the day. Thank you so much for joining us. And if you're new to this session and are just joining us, my name is Marilyn Udine. I'm with the Community Engagement Department. We also have Kayla Connors here, and we have Andrea Morales, and they'll be helping behind the scenes with the chat and the slides. And we'll have a big team behind the scenes to support everyone. So presenters, if you could go ahead and turn off your microphones and your cameras if you're not presenting, and then at the end, if you could turn them all back on for the Q&A, that would be great. And there is a limited amount of time for the presentations, and we'll just pop a reminder in the chat if we need to remind you. Otherwise, go ahead and just share your information. Attendees, I did want to let you know that your mics and camera are automatically off. If you have questions throughout the presentation, you're welcome to drop those in the chat, and we will go ahead and address any questions that you had at the end. So today our topic is therapy, and we have Autism Home Support Services presenting first, and then we'll have Milestone Pediatric Therapy, and then we'll have Rehabilitative Rhythms. We also have Willow Aba Services, and we have the Star Institute here to present today as well. So Marissa with Autism Home Support Services, welcome, and thank you for being here, and you're welcome to go ahead and get started, and just request when you would like your slides moved over.
Thanks, Marilyn. Hi, everybody. I'm Marissa with Autism Home Support Services. A little bit about me. I've been with this company for about 5 years, and my job is to go in the community and build relationships. I've also done some family support too, so can answer any questions you may have about our intake process. Next slide, please. So here's just a quick summary of all the services we have available. I know this came up yesterday a couple times. We are currently, and also during COVID, initially worked with an infectious disease physician. So we are making sure we have the utmost safety for both our staff and our families, whether we're in the home or in the center. We, especially with flu season coming up, we're making sure that we're taking even more precautions as well with that. And so for our therapies, we have in-home therapy, we have center therapy, or you can do a hybrid of both. We currently have 3 center locations. The one closest for most families that work with developmental pathways would be the one in Centennial. It's right off of I-25 in Arapahoe. So a very convenient location. That center currently, we have openings in the evenings. We don't have any morning openings right now for that, but if families want to start with us, they can start in the home and then move to the center once there's some morning openings, if that's the requested time. If they are just looking for center as well, we're glad to give resources for that. We also have bilingual intake teams. We have clinical teams that are also bilingual. That includes multiple BCBAs and also RBTs and BTs that speak both Spanish and English, and our paperwork as well as in both Spanish and English for families' convenience. Another thing we have speech therapy in our centers only. So right now it's in our Centennial Center and then our Westminster Center as well. We do have parent training that's built into all of our therapy with our kids and families, but we usually too as well do a parent group, which is also listed in some of the groups we have. With COVID, we did put a pause on that, but hopefully we'll start that up again. It's a great group, different subjects, and great opportunity for families to meet. We also have an early learners group for kids not quite ready for preschool or kindergarten that they can do at our centers. We have a great preteen group and a great teen room as well. So they have their own space within the center, and social skills groups as well. Social skills groups are a little bit smaller now, so is our early learners group until post-COVID. And as well with ages, we can work with anybody 0 to 26. We can sometimes work with older as well, just depends on insurance. And next slide, please. And this is just an overall idea of what areas we serve. So as you can see, we serve a lot of the area. Anywhere that's green, orange, or blue is all where we can do in home. And the little houses are where we have our centers in the Denver and Denver metro area. We also have a brand new great center in Greeley as well too. And we don't have any wait list for services right now. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Marissa, with Autism Home Support Services. And next up, we have Tara with Milestone Pediatric. Hi, Tara. Thanks for joining.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. Thank you so much for having me. You can go to the next slide. I just wanted to show you a cute little adorable boy named Alex who has kind of become our poster child. He has spina bifida and he is, I think he was about 3 years old right there, but now he is around 6 years old. I am the owner of the company. I'm a PT. We actually have 2 clinic locations, one in Centennial and one in Denver now. So we are growing. At our clinics, we offer OT, PT, and speech. We also have early intervention contracts, and we can serve developmental pathways, Rocky Mountain Human Services, and DDRC. We pride ourselves on being family friendly, being a community resource to people. I love referring people to other community partners and resources, whether it's ABA therapy, hippotherapy. I just feel like I like to look at the whole child and family and help them have their best life. So with our expansion to our new Denver location, we did do a gym expansion. We have a really large sensory gym there. We have 2 gyms in Centennial that are a little bit smaller, but in Denver we have a very large gym that all of our kids are very excited to play in. I think you can go to the next slide actually, thank you. This slide shows a little bit more about some of our services. So with our expansion to Denver, it was awesome that we got a whole new team of therapists there, and they were very trained in a lot of different things than our clinic therapists in Centennial. So I am so happy to have the academic and literacy support and more social skills programming. So that is really helpful I'm finding for families now with COVID and just kind of being isolated and not being able to be in school for so long. I'm finding that these services are really helpful for our families. We can do dyslexia testing, reading assessments, along with reading tutoring. Almost all of our speech therapists are trained in Orton-Gillingham, and that's a pretty extensive training, so that's very helpful for our clients. During COVID, we offered some fun alternative programs like virtual social skills groups and virtual dance and gymnastics. I posted some of those on Facebook, so definitely check out our Facebook page. Our therapists and families are super excited to now start incorporating more groups in person. So we are definitely taking all of the precautions we have to take with COVID. So that means limiting our numbers some and everything. But we are excited to say that we are offering an in-person dance and gymnastics starting in early November. And the other really exciting program that I would love to mention is something called Secret Agent Society. So you can go to the next page and I'll tell you more about that. We have 2 therapists trained in this special type of social skills group. It is for 8 to 12-year-olds. It's research-based, developed by a psychologist, and it's really fun. We have a speech therapist named Scott who is in charge of it, and we have Alexa who is also running the group with him. We are doing 2 therapists for 6 kids. Usually it's 1 therapist for 4 kids. So this time it's going to be a little bit smaller due to COVID. There will be 8 total people, therapists and kids included. It's a very fun program where it's 9 weeks in person, and then there are fun little computer games and missions that the children can do throughout the week with their parents. And it's very cool. They each get a backpack with little, what did he tell me? Little devices that help them throughout the week by providing visual cues. For example, when they need to work on emotional regulation or other social skills. If anyone has any specific questions about this program, it's pretty involved and intense. It is a little bit costly. If we have people with Kaiser will cover the cost of the group, so that's a really great deal. And then you're just paying a materials fee. A really cool thing is after the 9 weeks, the speech therapists will follow up at 2 separate times to see how you're doing at home, see if they can provide additional suggestions for your kids, just to make sure that there is carryover of all the skills they learn in the group. So if anyone has specific questions, I can provide Scott's direct phone number too, so you could talk with him about all the specific details. But we're really happy to be able to at least offer some of our special programming. Usually throughout the year, we offer handwriting group, Strider bike camp. We love dance and gymnastics. We love providing those fun things. So hopefully as time goes on, we will be able to keep offering those things again. Thanks for having me.
Thanks so much, Tara. We appreciate you being here. She was with Milestone Pediatric Therapy. And next up, we have Rehabilitative Rhythms and Rebecca. Hi, Rebecca. Welcome.
Hey, thank you.
Yeah. Andrea, we'll go ahead and move your slides forward whenever you're ready.
Thank you so much. Hi, everyone. My name is Rebecca Stewart. I am the COO and intake coordinator here at Rehabilitative Rhythms. We are a nonprofit provider of music therapy services here in the Denver metro area. I'm so excited to be here and see some community partners that we love to work with also on here, so that's pretty exciting. We provide both individual and group services for kiddos and adults on the CES, SLS, and CHRP waivers. We provide adaptive lessons. We have done school consultations with special education teachers and paras working with kiddos and trying to provide some transfer of skills from sessions over and tools and ways to use music with kiddos at school as well. So we provide a pretty wide range of services. We also do on kind of a rolling basis, usually during the summer, we've been doing some developmental music together, Mommy and Me classes, which we moved online this last summer, and it was really successful. It was pretty fun. So you can go ahead and move that slide along. So I just want to go over a little bit about what music therapy is in general, because not everyone is always familiar with what it is that we do. So as music therapists, the simple answer is that we use music as a tool to address non-musical goals. The way that music is processed in our brains is really unique, and I'm sure a lot of you have seen in your kiddos sometimes that they respond really well to music, really differently to music than they do to other things. And that can always be a really good indication that they might be a good fit for music therapy, and that you might want to look into that and maybe give us a call. So we work with children and adults on speech and language development, gross and fine motor skills, social communication skills through our social groups, which are really, really unique as far as music therapy social groups go. We are really privileged to be able to fund those groups with CES and SLS funding. We have, the reason we're able to do that is because we provide a really high staff to client ratio. And so families are actually able to use some of their funds for our social group classes. They're hand matched. So we'll do an assessment if you or your child is not already a part of our practice, and try and place each individual in a social group with other friends who are similar ages and working on very similar goals. So our approach is really unique in that way. Also working on emotional and self-regulation goals, attention and cognition, and a lot more. And in general, at our practice in particular, we specialize in working with children and adults with developmental and neurological differences across the lifespan. So genetic differences, autism, sensory processing needs, seizure disorders, stroke and brain injury survivors, medically fragile, and a lot more. You can go ahead and move that along. What makes us different, I think, is really important. We are one of the only nonprofit music therapy practices in the state, and there actually aren't very many in the country either. And our particular practice is all master's level therapists. Music therapy is a bachelor's level entry field right now, but we really believe in providing the highest quality services to all of our families. And part of that is requiring a little bit of additional education for all of our therapists. So all of our therapists are board certified music therapists with master's degrees. And because of that, we are able to be involved in a lot of research, publications, and have more than 30 years of experience collectively as a practice as well. So to learn more, you can go ahead and visit possiblewithmusic.org. The number that you're seeing there is our office number. If you want to speak directly to me about an intake, I am extension 1 on that number, and that is my email address as well, Rebecca@possiblewithmusic.org. So thank you so much. We really look forward to meeting you all.
Thank you so much, Rebecca. She was with Rehabilitative Rhythms. And then next up, we have Vicki with Willow Aba Services. Hi, Vicki.
Hi. Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Vicki. I'm the Director of Outreach here at Willow Aba. I've been in the ABA field for about 4 years now. And Willow ABA is a brand new ABA company in the Denver Metro. We're located in Littleton. Let's see here. You can go to the next slide, please. So we provide one-to-one ABA services for children on the spectrum. We take Cigna, United, Colorado Medicaid, and Anthem. And if a family that is in need of services doesn't have any of those carriers, then we can talk about a single case agreement, and I can answer any questions about that at the end. So basically ABA, for the families that are still kind of new to it, it stands for Applied Behavior Analysis, and it's a research-based approach that improves the quality of life and social behavior for individuals with autism. So we have a devoted team of RBTs and BCBAs that are committed to the success and the growth of your child. If you could please go to the next slide. So we take ages 2 through the transition to adulthood, so 21 to 22, depending on the school district that your child is in. And we currently don't have a wait list, so we're taking families immediately. Our hours of operation are 8 to 6, Monday through Thursday. And then for those families that are looking for after school options, and then 8 to 4:30 on Fridays. And we also collaborate with other providers. If your child is in speech or OT or things like that, we definitely like to collaborate with them to assure that your child is receiving the most opportunities for success. Our clinic is huge on natural environment teachings, which means that we want our clients to learn in their most natural environment, so that it takes away from outside of the clinic. So your child isn't going to be just sitting at a desk the entire time that they're at ABA therapy. And we also have a lot of age-appropriate toys and electronics, as well as we're also setting up a playground outside, so that it's a little bit of a balance of work and play. And we're very invested in our community, the children, our families, and we want to cultivate meaningful change and lasting growth. So we're super excited to be a part of the Denver community and assist families that are in need of additional services. And then I have also attached our brochure. I don't know if it'll pop up on here, but that has my contact information and everything on there.
Great, thanks so much, Vicki. And Vicki is with Willow ABA Services. And then next up, we have the STAR Institute. So Ben, are you here for presenting on that?
I am, and Andrea is too. If you can take your camera and your mute off as well, Andrea.
Great, well, go ahead and get started whenever you're ready. And Andrea will move the slides along for you as well. So just let her know.
Okay, great. My name is Andrea Stoker, and I am the Chief Operating Officer for STAR Institute. We are located in Centennial near Arapahoe in Yosemite. STAR is a nonprofit organization that specializes in treatment, education, and research related to sensory processing. We're a multidisciplinary team. We offer on-site and telehealth therapy for individuals across the lifespan. We specialize in occupational therapy, speech therapy, feeding therapy, family support and mental health, group therapy, and multidisciplinary evaluation. We also have an online learning program that offers educational opportunities for both parents and professionals. And here to talk a little bit more about the group programs that we offer is our group coordinator, Vincynthia Ferrari.
Thanks, Andrea. So I think what's really cool about our group programs is they are funded through developmental pathways. So we really, really love partnering with them for those pieces. Some of the groups that are ongoing throughout the year are Crew, which is a social skills group, Critical Core, which is a Dungeons and Dragons role-playing teen group, School Readiness, which not only works on the pieces for those kiddos that aren't ready for preschool or kindergarten, it also is a really nice supplement to this crazy virtual schedule that everyone is on with the different COVID pieces. So a lot of kids in our group right now, they choose their own schedule, and if they have in-person class on Monday and Wednesday, then they come to School Readiness on Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. So they're still getting the routine pieces of being in a classroom. They're getting that social interaction piece. We're not academic focused, but we definitely do have academic themes. It's run by occupational therapists, and we have speech therapists that consults with that as well. So it's a really fun program, and we see kids grow tremendously with that. Ignite is another teen group. It's a teen movement group. Rebounders is an in-person and virtual mini trampoline group. Imagine Adventure is a role-playing group for that tween age. A few of the other ones that I think are important that I didn't stick up here is our summer camps. We do Superhero and Training Academy summer camp and bike camp. And we also, DP also helps fund some of our feeding groups. So our feeding approach is based on Dr. Kay Toomey's SOS approach to feeding program. We have people come from all over the world for our services, and it is amazing that Developmental Pathways helps our local families have access to these services that otherwise wouldn't be possible. We have scholarships for many of our programs, and like I said, DP helps fund them as well. I think the last thing, the most important thing, I wish I would have added this to our slideshow, but I thought we were only allowed to do one slide. But I have the flyer. It is our special October event, Halloween Trunk or Treat. I don't know if you all are familiar, but it's Sensory Processing Disorder Month, October, and STAR has tons and tons of interesting parent, kid, different pieces on our social media. So Facebook, Instagram, all those different pieces. We're running a comic strip about different types of SPD based on like certain kids every Thursday. It's really cool. It comes with pictures and it's written as a comic, but it really, really sheds light on, you know, what these kiddos go through. So please check that out. But we are on the 31st, we're going to end Sensory Processing Disorder Month with a bang with our Trunk or Treat program. It's focused on obviously socially distanced and sensory friendly trick-or-treating, which both can be such a tremendous challenge for our kiddos that are a little bit more sensitive. I think that's all.
Okay, great. Thanks so much, Andrea and Ben. That was really great information. And we will go ahead and open it up for the Q&A. So if you haven't had a moment yet to put any questions in the chat, there's still a few seconds to do that. And all of our presenters are welcome to turn on their mics and their videos as well. And I did want to let you know, so we will be dropping some other, there may already be in here, there's a few links in the chat. So if you wanted to see the recording of this session, if you wanted to get contact information for any of the presenters, we can also put attachments there or other PDFs. They're all at that link on our landing page. So definitely check that out. And we are recording this, so recordings of the sessions will be there. And we also wanted to thank many of our presenters provided door prizes today. So go ahead and submit your information to be entered into the giveaway. And we'll be drawing those names and letting people know early next week if you want a prize. So we'll go ahead and do that. And then I believe Kayla will be helping us with the Q&A. So I'll hand that over to Kayla.
Thank you, Marilyn. So hopefully my roof is being redone right now, so I don't know if you guys can hear it, but don't worry, nobody is like going crazy in the background or anything like that. But I think the first question we got that came in, it was specifically directed toward rehabilitative rhythms, but I think it's definitely a question that all panelists can take up, is the ratio options for your services and programs. So what is the staff to client ratio typically?
Yeah, so I think I read the question. I think it was directed towards our social groups because I had mentioned the ratio and then didn't say what it was. So it's 2 to 1, 2 clients to 1 therapist.
You want us to answer as well too, or just, I know that was towards them.
Yes, everybody is welcome to go on ahead and answer the question if they feel it's relevant.
Perfect. I'll go ahead too then, just because I didn't mention that either. So in-home is always 1-to-1, and same with our center, whether they're in our early learners groups or teen groups, we always have 1-to-1.
And then do we want to have a Milestone answer the question next?
I could answer that. It just depends on the program. We offer one-on-one OT, PT, and speech in clinic and also virtually. I don't think I mentioned the telehealth. When we do our groups and additional programming, like the social skills groups I mentioned, the Secret Agent Society group is going to be 2 therapists to 6 kids, so it's a 1-to-3 ratio. And that's typically what the social skills groups are like. Right now we have a Wednesday evening social skills group going on 2 therapists and 5 total kids. So it's even a little bit smaller. But that will give you an idea of the ratio.
And then Willow, do you all want to take the question next?
Yeah, we do strictly one-on-one therapy as well. So there will never be a situation where there's 2 clients with 1 therapist, unless we're working on social skills, then it would be 2 therapists, 2 clients sort of thing.
And then lastly, Star.
Our ratio also depends on the group and the needs of the kids, but we do like sensory motor dyads in the OT sensory gym with 2 kids to 1 OT, or if there's language pieces, we do 1 OT, 1 speech therapist to 2 kids, and we build up from there. So our school readiness program is run by myself, and I have 2 graduate students with me almost at all times, and we try and run the group with 5 kids minimum. So it's a nice ratio.
Thank you all for answering that question. I think in line with that, and I feel like some of you also mentioned this, but just so we can get this information out from everybody, what sort of protections are you taking and adjustments have you made due to everything going on with COVID now? How are you keeping families safe and providing them new opportunities to access your services? And we can start, we'll just go in line with autism home support services.
Yep, so like I mentioned, we've been working with an infectious disease physician. So in terms of our centers, for the maximum amount of kids, that's been lowered. In terms of our rooms, everything is way smaller. So we do one-on-one as much as possible. And what I mean one RBT to 1 child. And then for our groups, we just do a lot smaller groups. In our gross motor area, we do not allow as many kids either. And then we also have standard, everyone gets their temperature taken. No shoes are allowed in the building. Parents pick up and drop off from their car. So really taking all the precautions, hand washing constant, of course. And then for in-home, we actually have little to-go thermometers. So again, temperature checks, lots of hand washing, masks as well, at least for our staff. For kids, depends on their need. We try to have as many of the kids wear masks as possible, and when they can, we obviously understand some have sensory issues and cannot do that. And then in home as well too, if anyone is feeling under the weather, we just reschedule the session instead of, you know, putting anybody at risk.
Thank you for that. Milestone, do you all want to take it next?
Sure. For us with early intervention, we are following the state guidelines, and right now virtual service delivery is the primary mode of service delivery. So when at all possible, we do that. The next step is if we can't do that, if kids are just not, if it's just not working out for families for whatever reason, then we do provide an in-person outdoor visit. And with those, we provide all of the same precautions. It's a temperature check for the therapist and then also for the family, and then wearing masks and hand washing, hand sanitizer, not taking any items to a person's backyard or into their home. And then for our clinic spaces, similar to what Marissa said, we have a recorded symptom and temperature check for all employees each day. We do that for each kid that comes in. We pick up the kid from the parking lot, so our waiting room is closed. We have therapists assigned to spaces so we can keep track of who is where in the clinic, limiting how many people are using the same space. So that has been interesting. We have large plastic bins in each treatment space as well, so that the therapist can put their supplies in, and then as they're dirty, they put them in the dirty bin. So we make sure that no kid ever touches something that another kid has touched. Doing lots of cleaning and sanitizing in between. We have an aide that we hired dedicated to do that as well. I think that covers everything. Same with what Marissa said as far as masks go. We have a lot of kids, surprisingly, that will wear the mask, even young kids, but there are those that just can't do it. So we understand that.
Thank you. Rehabilitative Rhythms, you all want to take the question next?
Yeah. So we're taking a lot of the same precautions. We have 2 clinic locations, and most of our rooms in our clinic locations are individual treatment rooms. I'm actually sitting in one right now. So everyone wears a mask while they are in the building, and we do ask as many of our clients as possible. We do symptom checks at the door before anyone comes in, and we have regular symptom checks in the morning of all of our staff members as well. We're providing a pretty significant portion of our services through teletherapy. It's actually been pretty successful. Music is such an engaging medium that a lot of our clients have been really successful in teletherapy, music therapy. So I would say we're about 50-50 right now. We also do in-home services, and we're really limiting the amount of instruments we're bringing into the home, and doing most of our in-home services outside in the yard or on the porch whenever possible, as long as the weather is good. And we've been providing some families with small in-home instrument kits as well, so that we don't have to bring in instruments for either their in-home or their teletherapy sessions. We're providing suggestions for people as well to purchase kits on Amazon, that if finances are a concern, we're doing a lending library of instruments. We sanitize all of our instruments before and after every single use. So everything that has been touched gets cleaned before the next kiddo comes into the room, and we've got air filters as well that we turn on in every single one of our individual treatment rooms. So.
Thank you. I think we have Willow up next.
So kind of similar to everyone else, we require everyone to wear a mask when they step in the building. I think we're kind of lucky right now because we are so new. We're not at full capacity, so we have a limited amount of clients right now. We do tell parents to stay in their cars, and we go retrieve them at pickup and drop off. And then at drop off, we take the child's temperature, and we also take their temperature at lunchtime and at pickup as well. And then if they do get sick, then instead of a 24-hour sick policy, we have a 48-hour sick policy, just to assure that they aren't sick for those 48 hours. And if they do end up getting tested for COVID, then we ask for proof that it is a negative COVID test. And then we have cleaning stations around our clinic and wipe everything down after someone's touched it, and then before and after we close. So yeah, just about as the same as everyone else. But I also, Tara, when you said that you were impressed about the kids that can wear masks, I am very impressed too. But yeah, it is quite impressive how some of these kids can keep those masks on for most of their sessions.
Thank you all. I think last but not least, we have Star for this question.
So like the rest of you guys, we have done a lot of similar adaptations for COVID. We've worked very, very closely with Tri-County Health and the Colorado Department for Health and the Environment to establish a COVID policy, which we actually have all of our clients sign off on before we begin scheduling. So we have them signing a liability waiver and then signing a COVID policy, asking them to practice safe social distancing practices when they're out in public and wearing masks, that kind of thing. If a family is unable to adhere to that, then we would go to telehealth options, or we've done some therapy sessions in the park with kids as well. We do ask families to COVID test at the onset of their program, and if the kids can't COVID test, the parents are their barometer. And I mean, hand sanitizing, just like everybody else. Cleaning, we totally upended our schedule and put 15-minute cleaning breaks in between every treatment session. One thing that I didn't hear that we do, I think is kind of unique, is we purchased a cold fogger so we can disinfect the facility. We do that at 2 o'clock. That's kind of like a internal meeting time. So we go in at 2 and cold fog the gym space. And then the cleaning crew is doing that again for us at night. And we're very fortunate to have a 16,000 square foot facility. So we have limited people in the big gym, but we have lots of small treatment spaces around and parent meeting spaces, and we move HEPA filters around as necessary.
The other thing I want to add to that, I think one of the huge foundations of STAR is that parent involvement is, a huge piece of it. So we can't really pick kids up from the parking lot. We do that for the groups where the parents leave them, but our parents are highly involved. And I think that's why we've taken telehealth has advised us to take that extra step to go ahead and get everybody COVID tested beforehand.
Good point, Vin.
Well, thank you all for sharing. I think we're at our last couple of minutes, and I know with therapies just being so hands-on and everything, that so much has changed in this time, but it's awesome to see that you all are still providing amazing services. So that is all for questions. So I'll pass it back over to Marilyn.
Yes, thank you, everyone. So that concludes our virtual resource fair. This is our last session of the day. So thank you, everyone, for being here. We will be sending out emails. We want to get your feedback on how it went, and we'll send out emails as well to all of our attendees, and we'll have everything live so people can be watching and hearing about your services ongoing. So thank you again for being here, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.